Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Lindsay podcast. Today, we are going to do a listen, call in review of a YouTuber goes by the name of Nick at Night. So, the day that it was trending that Kevin Samuels was rumored to have passed away, they did a live, with the talking about it, which it hadn't yet been confirmed. So, there was a call in and there was some of the calls on there I found to be pretty interesting. Some folks sounded mad, some folks didn't really care, and some folks, they just who is Kevin Samuels. But for those who didn't know who Kevin Samuels was an internet personality who was known for his views on mostly women and how they are to men. Why are you looking like that?
He had views on both genders.
Yeah,
Cause
he did, but
he did it with the
mostly
men for 3 years. Did nobody care?
Mm-mm.
Say the whole
we
truth.
ain't know who he was. We didn't know who he
Yeah,
was.
it
He didn't
doesn't matter.
trend. He didn't trend when he was talking about the men. He
Oh
trended.
no, what
He
made him
went
trend was one
viral. He went
video.
viral with that lady when he
Average
told
at
that
best.
lady that she was average at best. That's
She
what
said
got
she was
him.
average.
Well, that was her fault.
Yeah, she said she was average. She gave
And he
herself a
did too.
5.
Hold on, because yes, he did. Hold on, yes, he
He
did.
got
Because
hold on.
you know,
5
on
is
his
average, right?
um, on his way up there,
A
he
5 is average.
look how he felt from heaven.
You still fat and average, yeah. I think that was real funny.
he, he,
That's the
he,
truth.
he was still up there telling them that you still that way. But rumor has it that he was with a average looking woman, kind of
See that?
heavy.
And guess what they say? Guess what he always say?
What?
Just because a man is asleep with you, that don't mean you're on his level.
But
That,
the whole
but that, and you gotta hear what he's saying when he with the whole, because since we're spending time on the average at best. Every podcast that you see, and even Kevin Samuels would say it, men don't do the same thing as the women do. See, the women is the ones you got to be having athlete. You got to have Jay-Z's money. You got to have Shaq's money. You got to have that to get with me, and you're average at best. You're on Section 8. You're getting food stamps. You're getting all this government assistance, but your man got to be a millionaire or a big time kingpin drug dealer. A man does not care about a woman's money or education when it comes to when you ask a man what he's looking for. Where the top five is never her money or her career. It's somebody that's
Right,
going to respect me, because men sees we translate respect into love. That's what we
right.
care about. We care about, are you going to be faithful? Can you hold it down? Type deal. We never, the top five is never anything financial when it comes to a woman. But when you ask a woman, usually one of the first top three is something about the man's money. And so that's
Correct.
why the whole average at best, people always take it out of context when he would say that. He was just reiterating what she had already said. But not only that, a man does not, so he, you know what I'm saying? He's not looking like, oh, my woman got to be this Instagram model. She got to be this, she got to be that. And like brother Zodiac One just said, you know, average at best was her words, not Kevin's. Kevin's again just reiterated that. We don't care about that. Kevin never said a man can't be with an average woman. It was those average ass women that didn't want to be with an average man. They only wanted high value.
Exactly. Just
So
like me. When a man go out to meet a woman, first question ain't, hey, how many degrees you got?
ever,
Hey, what do you do for a living?
ever.
We care nothing about that, especially me, because I don't need your money no way. Because what
Exactly.
I need you for
okay,
is
so
what I need
as a
you for
woman,
is what my mother did for my dad. My dad had his own business. She made sure everything else was straight so he can focus on getting stuff done for everybody.
Yep.
So if my mom would have fought against my dad in raising us, because I never knew it was a daycare ever existed, because my mama raised us, all her children. I never knew a lot of stuff existed because I had my mom and my dad. But if she wanted to be, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, he wouldn't have never been able to accomplish what he accomplished, and what he accomplished benefit everybody. And he never, like I tell people, I don't like women who talk down on housewives. That irks my nerve, because what my mom did, now we have land in the country that's left to the children. We have a business. All her children are successful in the work world, and all that. Women like my mom looked at the greater picture other than self. Now these women that's rejoicing, like me, I do pretty good for myself. I don't need a woman that making $200,000, because what if I said, I want kids? Who's gonna be there to raise the kids? If she at work and I'm at work? So I got to hire a nanny. So my kids will be taught by someone else
Okay, so let
most
me
of the
ask this
time.
question though. Let me ask this question
You
because
know,
I've
this
I've
and
heard
that.
I've heard, and
She can
actually
work from home.
that was one of the callers on that live that had brought up the whole uh PhD thing, right? Because that, and then that was also a soundbite that he had. Now, here's my thing: as a woman who has went to college, who has gotten a college degree, right? Still going to school right now. Um, I just feel like there's nothing wrong with a woman wanting to further her education, because if that, because here's the thing, I need you to mute that phone, sir. Uh, if that is her desire, right? Because it was my desire. It wasn't, I felt I had to. It was, I desired to do that. So I don't think that it is a bad thing. And I wish men would stop saying that, because women, it's not easy to go get a PhD. People are making it like you could just go and go get the PhD. No, you have to apply yourself, just like
Well,
you apply yourself to anything
But
else.
at
yeah,
what cost, though? That's
yeah,
what I'm
but
saying. We don't
So
have an
why?
issue with it. Hold
we
on.
don't.
This the issue y'all have. We don't have an issue with
Who is
you
that?
doing that.
Hold on, hold
But
on,
you're
hold on.
wasting your youth. You're wasting your youth doing that. So
It
once
doesn't,
you,
no, I'm not wasting my youth,
I
because
didn't
that
say
is
you,
my
in
desired
general.
goal in life.
In general, how long does it take? You get a associate, you get a bachelor, you get a master, you get your PhD. How long does that take?
It depends on how many hours you're taking
It can
per
take
semester.
you
But
what, 10 years?
on average, how
Like,
It
long does
depends,
that
like
take?
to get your, okay,
right.
so if you, like, say you going straight out of high school, right? Straight into college. Most people, they'll go live on campus. You can obtain a bachelor's degree in about 2.5 years, right? So then to get your master's, you have to go and take more class. So you'll end up going to a graduate school, right? Because from there it's master's, and then it's your PhD, which is the highest form that you can get of a degree. So yeah, you're talking, if you apply yourself in a matter of 8 years from whenever you start. It don't have to be I'm going in at 19 years old, fresh out of high school. It can be whenever. If you apply yourself, depending on how much you're able to handle doing that, right? And you're only applying yourself as far as your schooling is going. You don't have everything, but some people do both. But you can get it done. So if you're getting 8 years to reach a goal that you set for yourself, I have to say congratulations. You did that, because everybody cannot do it. And it's
And
not about
Kevin,
who can and
but
who
On
can't. It's
but
a
Kevin
on
would
goal.
also
average.
congratulate. Kevin would also congratulate women on
Right. But I mean, I've heard some of the guys like that were just on
for
different lives calling,
misunderstanding.
and they were
Well, a lot of
making,
people are misunderstanding.
huh,
He's freezing up.
I think
Like,
you're
listen,
freezing,
that's
Ron.
that's fine. But on average, it takes them longer than 8 years. We're not talking about the exception, we're talking about the rule. That's what people get it twisted. Like his main thing, possibility and probability. That's what messes a lot of people up. Is it possible? Yes, it is. Is it probable? You have to look at what's going on in your life and determine it from there. Possibility and probability. But usually, 10 to 12 years on a lot of people on average. 10 to 12 years. Men like you, men love you and beauty on a woman.
Because men
So
are
when
visual
you go
creatures.
10 to 12, huh?
Men
Yes,
are
right.
visual creatures.
So when you come out of high school and on average it's 10 to 12 years, depends on what field you're going into, to get your PhD, you're in the 30-year-old range.
And
Now,
that does not make you washed up.
watch
Okay.
this. I check. Then don't say that. What 30-year-old man? And one thing about men, now you have a PhD, you done did all that schooling. Now you want to go practice with your PhD. Okay, when does family come in?
Not every woman wants a family.
We're not talking about
I mean,
every
I'm
woman.
saying
The majority
some
of women want family,
to
though.
for it to be established, because one of the things that I will say in the Black community, we have went backwards. We go have the kids first in the middle of the struggle, and now we're raising kids in the struggle. There's no financial structure. And so some people want to say, look, I want a family, but I need to establish a bank account to be able to raise them. You can't raise kids on air.
Right.
You
You
can't.
facts.
The
But what?
older they
Okay.
get, the more expensive they get.
But since we talked about sound bites, one of Kev's famous sound bites was when he was talking to the young guy.
You talking about the one who asked, did he have the?
Yeah.
I have it. Let's play it. I have it. Let's
do that, because I got something to say about that.
Yeah, he did, and that was actually one of the first ones
Viral moments he had.
No, it was the one with the girl, but I'm saying because you could tell that was an older video that hadn't really just been seen, because you could just tell, like, his background, his video, the graininess of it all, like you could tell like that was one of the older videos. But I did see that, actually. As a matter of fact, let me pull it up really quick.
Oh, that was funny.
Yeah,
it was, but it was like, I hope this guy don't go commit S, because he just
you know why it's funny? Because what Kevin was trying to tell him is, bro, you don't have nothing going, and you expecting a whole lot. You don't even come with a big stick. Usually, if you got a big stick, it will carry you through, because women are now the female rappers are that's all they talking about is men with big sticks. If you got a big stick, I know dudes that just live out women free that had elbows. You know what I'm saying? Women taking care of them because they've been brainwashed and thinking if he got an elbow, oh, he's great. I didn't seen that firsthand. I know a dude didn't have nothing, then go to work. She went to work every day. That joker had an elbow. You know what I'm saying? Who fault is that she put up with that? Hers, because the world told her the elbow.
I need to mute you so when it plays, it doesn't echo. So hold on.
Where would you rank yourself on a scale from 1 to 10? How tall are you?
I'm 5'10".
5'10". How much do you weigh?
I weigh about
to what?
Depending on the day, between 280 to 285.
So you're a fat fucker.
Yeah.
So you think a 5'10", almost 300-pound dude, how much money you make?
Like 400 every 2 weeks.
So you make 400 every 2 weeks. So you make 800 a month. You make less than $10,000 a year. Okay.
But how many 20-year-olds is him?
Hold on. Dude, I was a 20-year-old and I was making far more money than that. In the 80s, where minimum wage was $3.35 an hour. So I need to hear it. How long? You got a big dick?
Huh?
You have a big dick?
I mean, it's above average. I ain't know Ron Jeremy.
No. I asked you if you had a big dick. I didn't say it was above average.
I don't know what that is, really.
Nigga, you know if you got a big dick or not. Stop the bullshit. Every dude know whether or not he got a big dick. I know I got a big dick. You don't know?
I mean,
you don't have a big dick. That's the point. You don't have a big dick. You don't have a big wallet. You're a fat dude. And you got a lot of nerve thinking you should get choosing singles at 5'10" and 300 pounds, making less than $1,000 a month at 20 years old. Ooh. And women should approach you. What they get, they don't even get a big dick.
Was again one, you said he was always critical on women. That was very critical.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Even you said you was concerned about the brother.
Like that. He was like that on men. See, that was hard. He called him a fat fucker.
Right.
You know, women, you go into that, women were like, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Because he was talking about what they wanted to hear, like you said, about the elbows, right? So that's why, women stuck behind it. But when he flipped the table, not even flipped the table, just kind of turned his attention and said, okay, now y'all need to be accountable. Because all he told that brother was, you 20 years old. You got the world ahead of you. You're healthy. Or you probably could be a little healthier. But you're short and you fat. And you want this Instagram model. That is your expectation. You're below average at best. But yet here you go, you got this, you up here in the clouds with what you want and as your expectations. You're not bringing no money to the table. You're not bringing no looks to the table. You're not even bringing the elbow to the table. So what are you bringing to the table? He was telling that man, and like I told you, in our previous conversation, is that as a unit, he wanted to see Black people elevated. He wanted to see us as a unit do better because that's the issue. That's the disconnect. It's a communication barrier between Black men and Black women, and just men and women, period. Nowadays, because everyone, like Zadok once said, these rappers is what the rappers say it's supposed to be. Just like for us when we were growing up, or what we saw, the rappers, had the chicks on the boats, pouring champagne on them. That's a bad bitch right there, right? And so that's what we looked at as what was what. So now you have Meg and you got Cardi and you got all these women that are setting the standard of what a good nigga is or whatever. You see what I'm saying? So now that's what these women.
Which I totally 100% disagree with.
Right.
A Meg Thee Stallion and a Cardi B. One is illiterate and a caricature, and the other one ain't too bright herself. I'm sorry, but she's not.
But that's y'all leader, though. Those are y'all leaders.
That is not my leader, baby.
No, those are the women leaders. Those are the leaders of the young women.
A woman that puts the camera up her ass every.
City girl, hold on. City girls, Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B, all that. That's all you. Summer Walker. That's all you hear is these women quoting. So those are y'all leaders.
Right.
That's what they put them women on the forefront to deliver the message.
But think about it though. But think about this though. Nobody had a problem when we was calling y'all bitches and y'all was shaking y'all's asses on our yachts and we was pouring champagne on y'all and calling y'all hoes. But when a man that was well groomed challenged us to be better and said, turn your attention away because it's only a percentage of the Black community that are athletes and that are millionaires. Let's just be real, athletes, artists, or what have you, right? There's only a percentage of that because Will Smith, Jay-Z, Diddy, all them, they're not making up 50% of the Black male community. The brothers is about a percentage of it, right? So you don't even have access to them. So what he was saying is, and he said this numerous times, a lot of women not even on just what Kevin Samuels was saying. I just seen another podcast where a woman said she will not date a man with a regular job. Because she needed spontaneity in her life. Probably couldn't spell it by the way, her appearance and the way she was speaking. But she needed spontaneity in her life. And a man with a regular job couldn't do it because he had to schedule time off. But see, that's the thing.
Like a scammer. She wanted a scammer.
Yeah.
She was like, if you got a regular job, shit, scam on the side or something. You know what I'm saying? That's what she was saying.
Yeah.
And these women, and these messages are put out to women today.
But then think about it. Like I remember it was about 6 years ago, I was doing a play. and there was these women. It was this guy, he and I were the same age. These women were probably a little about 8 years or elder, and the lady he was dating was 10 years older than us, and he was nervous. He was, he was falling in love with the elder ladies that were, in our group that was on our cast, and it blew my mind because it was for the first time some raw, real shit was said, and both of these women said, "Man, go for it." He was like, "I'm nervous because I work a regular job, I'm buying her flowers and stuff, but I don't think she wants, because a man at work and do all those romantic things is considered a simp or, whatever." The woman straight up was like, "Yeah, in our 20s, that's all we wanted was that thug hood shit." They said, but when they got 30, one lady said, when I got 30, I didn't want nothing quick anymore. I didn't want nothing that was unstable. She said she realized that there was nothing permanent and nothing stable about that hood life. And then you start thinking about it. That's what is supposedly what's in for the guys. So a guy that's working like bro just said earlier, his dad worked to the bone and they didn't lack nothing. And they don't lack nothing now, and they got generational wealth. They got the American dream. You see what I'm saying? They got the land. They got the money. They got the generational wealth to carry them on from time to time. So his father was able to do that because he had a supportive wife, not diminishing. And I think that's the problem the feminist movement had as well, was it truly diminished the woman's value, because Steve Harvey had been saying it for years. And, all the big time talk show hosts and everything was telling you, if women were underpaid on the behalf, I'm talking about a mother, a wife was underpaid just on the strength of, if you even sat down and talked about how many jobs she had in one day. She was a counselor. She was a chef. She was a teacher. She was a tutor. She was a babysitter. She was a housekeeper. It was so many things that women were, and they were so valuable to our community. Look at what Bro's family was able to do for generations. Mom saw dad's vision, because that's the worst thing. And that's what we're dealing with today. And that's what Kev was trying to get across, is you can have a man with a vision, but if you lack it, if you lack the ability to see, your ship is gonna crash. You're gonna crash into the iceberg and you're gonna sink. His mother, she knew the assignment. His father knew the assignment. It's not that she was diminished. It's not that she was diminished, because her bro, look at, she's empowered the next generations with an S on the end of it.
She got
not
five
just
children.
What you buying for me? What you get?
She got 5 children that she can lean on. Babies? She got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. That love her to death, love everybody to death, that she can lean on whenever. She 4 sons and a daughter. So, hey, she knew the assignment and she stuck to the assignment no matter what the outside is. My best friend, wife, is a housewife, and women try to down her just because she's able to be a housewife. This man makes $250,000 a year. She controls all access to everything. The accounts, the children, everything. He don't tell her where to go because he was raised in a 2-parent home, just like I was. So is that diminishing her because she's afforded to sit back and take care of her children? She even homeschooled her children.
Which is understandable. I think, but like in the times that we're dealing with right now, right, the average Black kid came from a single parent home. So therefore, because they were probably not the only child, because most of the time they got siblings, there was no red carpet laid out for them, right? So in order for them to create,
but who fault is that?
I know. Let me speak. Hold on. What I'm saying is this is because of those circumstances, right? So when the child now gets older, they have to go break that generational curse, but they also have to create their own wealth. They have to start with them. And so sometimes
Who
they might
created the
have to end up being
circumstances?
the sacrifice and saying, well,
So
my dream was that, yeah, I wanted to have a family and marriage, but because of what my parents did not do and put in place for me, now I've got to go and place that burden on my back and go change it.
okay,
So
but
Pressure,
it takes me,
pressure. Hey, listen. Pressure is made for shoulders, not hips. You didn't have to do that.
okay, but
Only
listen,
thing you when you turn
hold on.
18, when you turn 18, you can no longer put it on your parents because
I
you
didn't
was
say that.
right there. All
Listen,
you had to do was
listen.
say, well, if I want a family, if I want this what I need to get with people
But I'm
who
gonna
have
speak.
that
I'm gonna
and
speak first.
learn and work on how to get that. Not school wouldn't be the answer. You should have found somebody who has done that and how they do it. Just like I tell people, if you're not married, you shouldn't hang. If married people shouldn't hang around single people like that. Ask single people for advice. They should hang around people that have
But I
been
mean, but
success
some of
in
the
marriage
married
and all
people
that
are married
because
and
they're
have
gonna tell
did
them
what
the
you're
hard
doing. So
truth.
you have to be careful of anyone you get advice from, married or single. You have to be careful of all advice
yeah,
now because some
You
people.
yeah, but see, I think I agree with y'all, both of y'all. But what and I agree both of you do. There's some married people who don't even respect their marriages. It's all about respect. It's all about respect at the end of the day. And like what he's trying to say to you is basically this, and this is what Kev was saying, like you was talking about. We're going back to the single parent households. Whose fault is it? Who's the one? Like, there was another podcast. I wish I remembered what I saw. It was so much on TikTok, but they were saying that like 18% of black men father over half the children because y'all all want the same dude. And really, when
Yeah,
you look at the
I
messages,
think I know which one you're talking about because I think I saw that myself, and
but
that's
how
why
can
I
you
said
say,
I don't place the blame on just the one parent. I do both because you're
yeah,
both adults. You both knew what you were getting into. You both could
but
have said no, but you chose to do otherwise. So therefore, regardless of who is got the child in their home, you both are at fault for what their future looks like when they become adults because you knew if you were in a financial place. That's why they say broke people cannot afford to have sex. Why? Because you can't afford a child. So therefore,
no,
if
I
both
ain't
of
gonna
y'all
agree with
are
you.
broke, you
I ain't
shouldn't
gonna.
be having sex.
I'm not gonna agree with you. Do you have any kids?
No, I don't. And you want to know why I don't?
Stop.
I'm
Stop.
answering,
See,
but you won't
no,
let me
you
speak.
said no. Hold on, stop it right
I
there. You
am
said
not
no, you
going to
don't. That's
just
it.
open my womb
No,
because that
no,
person
no,
might
no,
be
no,
financially
no,
stable.
no. You don't have kids. How old are you?
That does not mean I
No,
cannot
no.
have
Watch
an
the point.
opinion.
Watch
I'm
the
so
point I'm gonna
tired
make.
of the
You
rhetoric
don't
of
have
you
kids.
that
How old
children
are you?
can't speak. I'm
How
sorry,
old
I
are you?
don't agree. I
How old
don't.
are you? How
I'm
old are you?
30 and proud to be 30
Guess what?
because I'm blessed to
Guess
be
what?
here.
You made sure you did the proper steps and
Exactly
made
what I
sure that
said if
you
you were
didn't have a
listening to
kid.
me.
So
I
guess
just said
what?
that. If
Guess
you're
what?
broke, you should not
All
have
them women that's
babies.
having
wait a
those
minute,
kids
wait a
could
minute,
have did the same thing you did, but they
just
chose
hear me.
not to.
Because he giving you credit, and this is what we were saying.
That's
Because
what
that's
I'm
what it is.
saying.
He's giving you
I'm
credit.
giving you credit, but you don't want to
I
hear it.
no,
The
I'm
same.
saying what I was
Listen,
saying was
you
this.
could have did. These women could have did the same thing
And
that
so
you
could
did,
the
but
men.
they hold on, but
See?
they didn't. So guess what? It's on them. Heavy is the head that wear the crown.
Well,
Because
listen,
if they
that's
didn't want
why
that,
you
if they didn't
have
want that kid, if
these
they didn't want them kids,
generations
they
of
could have
detrimental
did what
mindset
you did. If they
because
didn't want them
no
kids, they
one
could have
is
did what you
taking
did.
their equal accountability. That's the biggest problem with the black man and the black
Exactly.
woman. No
No.
one is, they're not taking the equal accountability. Here is the thing. A woman cannot create a child without the sperm of a man. She
A
cannot
woman
be
can
on
make a
top of
child a
herself
father
and
even
give
though he
herself
don't want
credit.
to
The
be,
same
and a
way why
woman
a
don't have to
man
be a mother if she doesn't want to be. Listen to what I
So,
said
okay,
again.
so hold
A
on. With that
woman can
side,
make a man a child, a father, if he doesn't want to be, and she can make
with that
herself
side,
not a mother if she doesn't want to be. So guess what? You have more options. You have more power. So you have more responsibility. Because if I was with you and tell you I don't want to be a dad, IKEA, guess what you gonna say? Oh well, you about to be one.
but hold
But
on.
guess
Okay, so
what? If
pause.
I
But
got
what
IKEA
if,
pregnant and IKEA said I'm not ready to be a mother, and I said I'm ready to be a dad, IKEA said, well, tough luck. Guess what
but
happened?
here's the,
IKEA
okay,
is not
so
a
what
mother,
about the
and Columbia is
consideration?
not a father. So guess what? Since you have all that power, you have all that responsibility.
I
So
don't
don't
agree.
shy away
I
from the
respectfully
responsibility
disagree with that
when
sentiment. I'm
things
sorry, but
don't
I
go in
do.
your favor.
Because
When the
what you
scale
do,
tips
there is
away,
a reaction for what
don't
you're
put it on
compensated
me.
for your actions. So,
Right.
but
Don't put it.
what
I'm having
about
fun.
the lady that may
I'm
feel,
having fun.
because you have those, it's going on right now with the Roe versus Wade about to be overturned, maybe. What do you say to the people that don't agree with abortion? Then what do you say to them?
I
Well,
ain't
That
listen.
believe that
okay. So,
abortion is murder.
I mean,
I got you on that.
that'll open up a whole nother can
I
here.
know,
But
that's
what,
Right.
what I'm
but what
saying.
we're
You
saying,
have to be considerate of
but
all sides, not
but what
just
we're
one.
saying,
Because I understand it's easy to get caught up in that one sided way of thinking,
but
but you have to be considerate that there are some people who do not believe in that. My mother is one of them. She does
okay,
not
I
believe
get
in
you.
abortions.
But what I'm saying is
I got
yeah,
all that.
you could. That's fine. But what we're saying, the point is accountability. You have been accountable. You have been responsible.
Uh,
You held yourself to a standard of, hey, I grew up and I seen bullshit. I ain't trying to bring somebody else in this world to have bullshit. And I told you this yesterday, and I've said it before. The part I didn't agree with was one of Kev's videos that came out where he was telling the ladies that she was 35-year-old leftovers. No, I
no,
don't agree with that.
bro.
I don't agree with
You
that.
missed it, bro. You missed it. He said over in Asia, they call those leftover women. And he
Okay.
just
Because all I heard,
he just tacked it on because over there,
uh,
unmarried women at a certain age, they are called leftover women.
okay. Well, see, and that's
So
fine. Different culture, and again, I
yeah,
heard the
Not in
soundbite because I didn't
America,
hear the
and
whole. I didn't
we
hear the
don't live
episode.
over there where they
But
don't
that,
they
have
always
rights.
do
but
that.
but
We
that goes to show
have
you.
so-called rights. So
That goes to show you though how a soundbite, which is most of what his, the last year and a half, 2 years, people have only taken his sound bites and not the whole context. Remember, I told
Right.
you when all those women were celebrating, there's been people sharing the video where he stated clearly, I do not look at black women as my enemy, and I hope they don't look at me as their enemy. All dude has ever tried to do was elevate the community. That's all he's tried to do. As a matter of fact, he always gave me that Farnsworth Bentley type of vibe, like how he dressed, and was always was it Andre 3000 from Outkast? Like he didn't dress as extreme as them dudes, but clean cut brother, well presented. You know what I'm saying? I had told a few people, I said one thing I respected about him was he would never come on that podcast like he wasn't sitting at a boardroom table. You see what I'm saying? I don't know what he would have going on during the day, but in your mind, his image, he was an image consultant.
He's
So
got
you're like,
that
hey,
other guy. Have you heard of the lead attorney? Have you heard of him? The lead attorney. Okay, so he does the same thing, but the problem with him is I wish that he would change the damn coat and the tie. It's the same thing all the time. And people are
see,
like, you was an attorney, so I know you got some more ties and suit jackets, but he wears the purple one with the
but
purple
you see,
tie.
but you see, the thing is, like how everybody said Kev was so extreme, but with him saying he's an image consultant, he never dropped that moniker, right? Never dropped that title, but bro, stay clean. So that's just like the barber whose hair is cut, the car detailer whose car is clean, right? The hairstylist whose hair is done. That's what he was a brand, and he presented his brand properly. But I believe I seen something else again where they said black women were never mad at the rappers because the rappers never held them accountable. Kevin Samuels always held black women accountable. And I don't believe that he preferred, because they tried to put him in a category with the dude that preferred white women over black women. And I've been seeing that. And they're like, just like dude died in his preference, Kev didn't like black. No, Kev never stated that he preferred a woman of another ethnic background over a black woman. I've never heard him state that. But the issue was he challenged black women to be better. And that's where the problem came in. That's where the problem is. And then on top of that, y'all can't just say, oh, y'all just listening to some thug or some street dude. This was a successful businessman, from my knowledge. If I had never seen that man's figures, if I never heard him say what he made, I would believe he was a successful dude just from his appearance.
See, another issue it was
Well,
he
Harvey,
told the women, okay,
hold on, hold that thought, because we
okay,
need to get into the thing so we can go on and do that because we're 35 minutes in. So I want to go on and start those really quick, and then we can come back with the commentary for the ending of here. So
Okay.
let me just hold on. Let me pull this up really quick. This was one of the calls that was on there, so we're just going to listen to this really quick. I think this is where it started. Oh, let me read that.
Kevin, all these girls, I call them girls on purpose. Black men need black women. Black women need black men. What you're seeing right now is the same thing women do when they go to a car lot. You don't like to admit you've been told that you're something that you're not. You are not a man. I am not a woman. You all, along with the men, have been socially engineered into materialism. All you care about is what things look like. I've met girls that want their refrigerator to look like the refrigerators when they opened on television. You are insane.
What do you look like?
Men are insane.
What do you look like?
The men. Listen, I'm not. See, there you go, right there.
I still want to know what you look like.
Listen, what do you mean what I look like?
What do you look like? We're talking about what people look like. What do you look like?
What do you mean? What do I physically look like?
You saying what things look like, and you talking about refrigerators and cars and comparing us to refrigerators and stuff. I said, what do you look like?
No, ma'am. No, you're not listening. You're looking for something you're not going to get.
You saying that we want, you said that we feel like we look like something we don't or something. So I said, what do you look like?
Yes. You think you are white. You think the Brady Bunch. You think lifestyles of the rich and famous. That is not.
I said, what do you look like? What do you look like? Before we go on, what do you look like?
I'm a black man. I love black women. I only see black women. That's all I see. And when I see reality TV, you have.
How old are you? How old are you? Woman, how old are you? How old are you?
I am 50 years old.
How old is your wife?
You are a black.
How old is your wife?
My wife is 46.
Okay. Is she black?
Have looked.
Before we go there, we gotta find out who the callers are.
Yeah, my wife is black. My wife is an African.
Okay, she's a foreigner. Okay, go ahead.
Is that good enough for you?
I mean, it's debatable, but go ahead. To people, not. I mean, I think it's good that she's. I'm just joking. Yeah.
Okay, so you see these black women.
Are you what people would call attractive?
I think so. I'm a hell of a damn man in my life, in my mind.
Are you a PhD?
In my morals. No, I don't even believe in any of that.
You don't have a PhD?
I don't believe in none of that. I don't believe in any of that. What
you don't believe in school?
Are you going to get your point out?
Wait, are you saying? Okay, but I'm asking you these questions real quick. Are you saying you don't believe in school?
I don't believe in worthless degrees. You all have degrees in things you cannot use.
All right, they told me to let you speak. They told me to let you speak. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what a good talk show host would do. And as I'm saying,
a good talk show host is gonna entertain her people. But go ahead. I'm gonna let you talk.
You see, you black women.
All right. 0260 want me to answer. Maybe they have a go ahead though. Go ahead.
You see how you all cheer reality TV? That's making you look bad all over the world. They have portrayed black women as the animals of American society.
Wait. All right, wait. I'm gonna let you talk. 0260. You got an echo. Cut it off in the back.
Oh, are you talking to me, Nick?
Yeah, you got an echo. But go ahead, finish. Finish. Yeah, finish.
How do I eliminate it?
If you got it planned, all right. I'm gonna mute you while you figure it out. I thought you had a response to the guy because you sent in a super chat.
I do. I have a response to all of them. Am I still echoing?
No, go ahead. No, yeah, you are. You are. Wait. Wait. Let him finish and then you could go. I'm gonna mute you.
Okay.
I'm gonna mute you because you got an echo still. If you got it playing in the back, cut it off. But let him finish. Go ahead.
As I was saying, you see how you all sit there and watch these black women on these reality shows bring your property value down to the basement. You think that's cute. That's going all over the world, portraying you as the animals of American society. You don't even care because they're black. This is the worst we have ever looked in our history here as a race. You sit there, you do interviews with these women. I'm sick of it. Your mother is sick of it. With the majority of black people don't even like this, but you all think this is good. And these black girls are looking at that materialism and savagery. And you think it's cute to go to a restaurant and play Real Housewives of Atlanta and sit there and don't leave a tip. These people already don't want you there. And this is your attitude. They said you're strong. Ain't nothing strong about stripping you naked. No man is going to want you. You as a mother of a boy, come home with a girl that your son has that's half naked and a body count that she can't even calculate. Would tell him he better get a test. You all are living in a fantasy and you've been tricked out of your value and out of your spirituality, and you've been duped into the animals of American society. We spent 100 years trying to get away from being 304s and butlers and hoes and prostitutes, and you all embrace that and let this demon tell you that that's strong. Ooh. Ain't nothing strong about it. When a man is a 304, you call it just what it is. He's a dog. But what do you call a 304 dog female? And then you get mad. Because see, your daddy and your grandfather
go ahead
ain't been there to check this. But this is what you get. You can laugh if you want to.
Let me ask the chat. Wait a minute. Let me ask the chat what they call a 304 female. What do y'all call a 304 female, guys, in the chat? Let's ask them.
You call a man a dog. What's a female dog? You on too much fluoride to get that? What do you call a man when he has a body count and irresponsible? But you can do it and you be strong. You say that's free. You let your daddy in the media tell you you're free. You are not free. You ain't had a free thought since you've been here. And neither has your man. And ultimately, it's the man's fault for not checking y'all and letting y'all get away with this.
How should they check us?
Oh, like I'm checking you right now.
You ain't checked. You ain't checked that damn thing. You ain't checked that damn thing. You talking hogwash and it's going in one ear and out the other. You ain't.
Let me go back to this. Oh, are we okay? Let me unmute y'all. Okay, so that was one of the calls. Now, granted, I would say this. I don't know why he sounded so angry, but he just did.
No, I talk about the whole
making, but it's like, why are you coming on the call with so much aggression? It's like, dude,
it was a level of disrespect.
Understanding.
The host was out of line. He didn't say women look like refrigerators. He said women call him and want refrigerators in their house like they see on TV.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I heard that part. I think she didn't hear what he said at first, because I think when she was trying to call in, she wasn't. you know how some people that are hearing, because when you're like watching it live and then you're moving around, you're kind of
That's how stuff. That's how stuff happens all the time. They
But
take not listening. She
yeah,
wasn't listening she was listening to respond. She wasn't listening to understand what he was trying to say. Because if you listen to what he said, he was actually telling the truth. She had a masculine, she came off as masculine. What do you mean? Get all combative and all that. And men do not like that.
and that's the thing. It's a turnoff, to be honest. It's not that we want a doormat. It's not that we want someone to step on and walk over. But she was mad disrespectful. Like it was pissing me off because first of all, you were not active listening. Active listening is paying attention and listening to understand and not listening to respond. 2, you were over talking him and you kept saying, "What do you look like? What do you look like?" You're saying women like refrigerators. She didn't even hear him say, like on the car lot, or allow him to get finished. Because when you think about a car lot experience, people that don't have the cash or don't have the pre-approval, you may say, "I want this Escalade." As a woman, you'll probably be like, "Oh, I seen Nene Leakes with a Range Rover on Atlanta Housewives, so I want a Range Rover." So you go on the car lot, and that salesperson, okay, you want a Range Rover, you want black, you want leather, you want it to look like whatever. Okay, what kind of engine you want? And then the woman says, "I don't know." You just want because you see on TV and media what you want, but then that car salesman has the job of saying, "Your credit. What's your credit look like? Let me run that." You get the background on this woman. She don't have the credit to get the financing to get the car that she wants. She really don't even know why she wants the car. She just wants it because she's seen it, but she don't know what it takes to upkeep the car. And it's the same difference as, let's look at, because I know Shaq has been in the news lately about him talking about his divorce and how it was one of the most difficult times for him, and people have been dragging him. Women like, "Well, he shouldn't have did it, shouldn't have." Hey, that man's been accountable. He realized where he messed up in his marriage. But do you think Shawnee O'Neal just sat around at the house and didn't do nothing? You think Juanita did that with Jordan? You think Kobe's wife just sat at the house and didn't do nothing? These women, look at Kris I'm calling her wrong name, Kris Jenner. You know, we talk a lot about the Kardashians, but some of these women that you see on TV, you think Nene Leakes didn't help flip Greg Leakes' money? This is what we saying. These women.
I think he was already well established because he got her out the strip club.
Right, but what I'm saying is when he helped elevate her, because that's another thing Kev was saying. He didn't say, "I'm already got this money, I can't date a stripper." He took that stripper and helped elevate her to what I think they said she worth like $12 million now. So that's just a net worth. Okay. Not saying she ain't making no bread when she was doing it, but what I'm saying is you guys to trust and believe that she saw his vision. You have to trust and believe that Shawnee O'Neal saw Shaq's vision. You got to trust and believe Kris Jenner, when she was Kris Kardashian, saw Robert's vision. You know that when she was married to Bruce, before he was Caitlyn, now when I don't want to mess up nothing.
Well, at that point, hold on, because we're gonna keep it real. At that point, after she left Robert Kardashian and got with the Olympian Bruce,
yeah,
we have to be honest about it, that there was nothing but femininity running that marriage, running
right.
only the women who had the voices, and he was emasculated.
A matriarch.
But what I'm saying is, she was a matriarch. But then this is what we're saying though. Those were old school style. Because look, like I said, Nene Leakes, look at, she's 50. Greg was older. Greg was in his 60s. You know what I'm saying? God rest his soul. But what we're saying is these women were raised old school. They weren't raised, Lil' Kim was out there, Foxy Brown and them when we were in the 90s. But you gotta think, like, these older women, this in they late 40s, early 50s and older, they were raised by the old school. And then people always say, well, you guys just want, women barefoot and naked and just having babies. It's not that. It's just we want a visionary. We need a visionary, a man with the vision. But this is the thing. You get upset because Pookie and them don't have a vision for you. Pookie and them don't have a contingency plan. Pookie and them don't have nothing. They don't see past tomorrow. Why? Because they don't know if they're going to get locked up today. They don't know if they're going to be shot down today. And then you want to arrest them.
Say properly vet the people that you.
Not even that, dude. Come on. Properly vet is dope.
These men that don't have those, like, it is not the standard to even be like what you said, quote unquote, be called men. you need to be able to one already have vision. You don't need the woman to have vision. You need to have vision before you go seek the woman.
Right.
Same
But
way
I
how they
need
say
her to be able
the
to see.
man needs to
Yeah.
already be
To
able to
hear.
take care
No,
of
you got to
himself
see my
first
vision.
Yeah. You got to be
I
able
wouldn't
to.
before he
have it.
goes
You have
and
to
tries
see
to
my
more
vision.
and
Thank you. You don't have to understand it, but you got to be able to see it.
See
Because
my
like I
vision.
said, you can see a car, but don't understand. I can see a car all day, and I don't know how to. I don't understand how to take the engine apart, though. I can see it. I can see that car runs. It needs that engine to run. I understand it, but I'm gonna call the mechanic who can see and know. Hey, I know I got to take boom, boom, boom apart to get it right. So this is what we're saying: is that a woman just needs to be able to have her sensories. She needs to be able to see. She needs to be able to feel. She needs to be able to hear. She needs to be able to understand instruction, because it's not that we're looking for you to be in a misogynistic, because that's all they've been talking about with Kevin Samuels. He's misogynistic and blah blah blah. It's not that. Again, it's all about seeing the vision. You mentioned properly vetting. Properly vetting is dope. Yes, it is very important. But do you need to properly vet? When you see a brother standing on the corner all day or sitting in a trap all day, you need to properly vet. You need to properly vet to see the prostitute.
Because some people do not don't know the word, let alone the meaning. And I think where we as a whole community, right, rather we got it together or we don't, a lot of these women today were improperly taught. Again, you got to understand, some come from a two-parent structured household, but many did not. So where the people who come from the two-parent structured household, right, that was raised with a sense of understanding and understanding the gender roles and all that stuff, where they have to come out into society, is you are amongst a lot of people who did not have that privilege because of their parents' reasoning. And so where we have to come in as a whole, in order to unify, you cannot continue to destruct by tearing down. If you're going to tear down, make sure you're also instilling a structured plan to say, okay, look, I understand you don't get this. I understand you weren't taught that. So I empathize with you there. So now that we got the understanding that you didn't know, now let's show you, because I don't need to keep tearing you down every day. And that's why I tell some people, look, everybody out here in the world you come across is not going to be for you. So you have to let them do what they're going to do.
Man,
you can
all
only
day.
control self. So because
okay.
so
one third
black community is we tear that down, Carlos. We talked
1/3.
about that with
But hear me though. Hear me though.
So when we're gonna think for ourselves.
Thank you. Therapy.
Because guess what? I told my homegirl, no lie, she'll tell you. She has a friend. She actually thought I liked her friend. I said, this woman is crazy. I said, what can I do with her? I'm not a doctor. I don't want no parts of that. I don't want no parts of that. She has some relationship, emotional trauma. I'm not a doctor. I cannot fix her. She needs to seek therapy before she try to date anybody.
I say yes, the same for both male and female,
Yeah, absolutely.
because even the males have trauma. And they're not dealing with it, and they don't have an outlet, because too many men go to these other men and tell them, if you have emotions, you're weak. See, that'd be the problem right there.
But women tell them that the most. Women tell them that the most.
You got men telling these young boys that they are not allowed to show no kind of emotion.
That's the problem.
We teach them tough.
Think about it though.
You can have emotions, but you still have to have a little toughness.
Yeah, you do. But see, this is the thing, and this is where, and I'm a piggyback off what you're saying. Again, I've always said this: the world has been catered to women, daytime talk show stuff, okay, all day. Even whether it was even the men, Montel, Maury, Steve Wilkos, Jerry Springer, all those things were Dr. Phil. They're catered to the woman. Why? Because that's who was at home watching TV at one point in time. But then you had Kevin Samuels come along, and he became a voice of the voiceless. He became the one that were expressing the inner thoughts and feelings of men. And then women got offended. You got a couple of men, oh, well, I don't agree with him. I don't agree with everything. Like I said, but 98% of what he would say, I agree with. And that's just me. I don't know him personally. I'm like, dang, that's sad he passed away. But I wasn't devastated that he passed away. Like, oh my God, I lost the Godfather. No, I agree with that brother. Okay. I agree with what he was trying to do. I saw his vision because I want the same thing for our community. This is one reason why when we would do the Black Talk segment, one of the reasons why I was involved in that, because I want to see us progress as a unit. But at the same time, think about right now, 1/3 of us on this cast grew up with both parents married in the household working as a unit. I didn't have that. Yeah, my dad was around. I knew my dad, I knew my mom. Everybody was around. I was, back and forth between the two. They weren't together to my memory like that. You see what I'm saying? My later years, it was earlier, way earlier years. But what I am saying is, even though I didn't come from the married 2-parent household, there were certain things I was learning, bumping my head with in my early 20s. But damn it, you trust and believe. Now I know the oven's hot. I don't have to touch it. You tell me it's hot. Okay, it's hot. I can see the red flags. I can see the signs. You see what I'm saying? You don't have no kids. You didn't grow up with mom and dad married in the same house. You see what I'm saying? But you, again, like we said earlier, we were giving you props. You doing your damn thing. You're not married. So you don't have to worry about, okay, I got my PhD. I'm going for a PhD. My career is taken away from my children. Not saying that your career wouldn't help add financial stability and an example. But what we're saying is when you have to spend 8 to 10 years focused on one thing, it takes away from the things that you don't have time or that you could or should be focused on, is what he was trying to say earlier. And I feel like, again, the hood people like to hear it. So I'm saying
the main thing he was encouraging marriage. He was telling them, hey, look where you are now. You saying what you want. What have you been able to obtain so far?
Right, doing it the way you're doing it.
It may not be possible for you. That's the reality of it. So guess what?
And I understand
adjust
that.
your expectations and buckle down and get what's right there in reach for you.
So
okay, so let me ask this question. This is an honest question, right? Just going and reaching for the man, and then that's it with your life. Just go have kids and be a wife.
No.
But you see how quick that's some of the trajectory that is being thrown out here.
That's not what he's throwing out though.
No, but it is. You're not everywhere all the time, K-Brown. You can't account.
I be a lot of places a lot of times.
You gotta understand. I've listened to some of these people literally just talk and say these. It's like you gotta be careful on how you display a message, because your message can be misconstrued. So you have to be thorough in your explanation, because the way you
really I don't listen. Really I don't.
Not be received
I can only control my intentions.
I understand,
and I can't control how you feel about it.
Because think about the
type of woman I want. Guess what? I'm gonna be in that circle because I'm gonna listen to what they have to say. Not a woman that I'm not interested in. I don't care about what she has to say.
I'm just saying everyday conversation, because again, you can be a light bulb in the room, but if you're closed-minded to someone that's not your woman, how are we teaching each other? Because life is about learning.
Listen to me. I'm not a teacher. I didn't sign up to be a teacher.
You're misconstruing my message already.
No, I got what you're saying. I'm not a teacher. I'm not signing up to be it. Number one. Now, I can't. The message is reach one, teach one.
Yeah.
So I can be in a room. Listen, I can be in a room with a whole bunch of them. Long as I reach one, the job is done.
Yeah.
And long as I reach one, the other ones, if I don't reach them, oh well. Reach one, teach one.
Some people is this: the world is not our canvas to be painted the way we want it to be painted all the time. So with that being said, is what we have to understand is we have to stop letting what other people are doing bother our immediate lives, right? Like for instance, the Meg Thee Stallions, the Cardi B's, the Kevin Samuels, if they are not rightfully in your face, in your life, in your circle, what they say and do has no cause and effect on you. But
But
we
the
allow
hit dog a
what
holler though.
others do to anger, and it's like, listen, I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I don't care. If you want to look like this, if you want to do that, you go do that, because at the end of the day, I don't have to look at it. I don't have to
Whoa.
entertain it. I can walk away from it, but we choose to engage. And that
This
is
why
how
they, but
Kevin
they got
Samuels
mad because
got
they
to
got
the
mad
point
because
he got.
even though he didn't speak to them directly, he spoke to them because
I
what he
get
said,
that. And that's
they
why
went back to
I
their life
feel
and
he
they
said
realized,
the same
oh,
thing.
he's
It was
making
relevant.
men not want us no more. He's making us look less desirable.
But the problem was with that, it wasn't that he made men.
Didn't understand their value to begin with.
It wasn't that he made men not want women more, because that's where a lot of women was calling him gay. What it was as you said, he was helping men understand their value more, but he was truly and honestly speaking, as I've said numerous times, the most inner deep thoughts that men have in our feelings as well. We already were thinking, we was already talking about this at our barbershops. We are already talking about this with our homies, our brothers. These feelings, because at the end of the day, someone said a black man will never be truly loved unconditionally. It's always about conditions. What can he do and what can he provide? The key to the thing is, and I think what Kev was trying to say, and this guy on TikTok said, we are the dumbest, most misled generation, and it's sad. He said, because we want to sit and argue and be at each other's throats, but with women being able to work, there's an open workforce for y'all. There's more women saying, well, what can I get from a man? And then there's some men that are trying to finesse, like he was saying, homeboy with the elbow. You out here just sitting at home. Imagine what you could do if you put your work together and work as a formidable team. You could conquer the world. You could have, because of the way that things are set up now, it may not be set up for a housewife right now because of the economy, the inflation, and the way stuff is. But what if y'all both work together? You still can have that land like bro's parents did. You could still have that generational wealth like bro's parents did. You might have to do it a little bit differently as far as both incomes now. But
it's still possible, bro.
It's still possible. It's possible, but you can't see for some people.
My homeboy, 33. Mm-hmm. His wife has a college degree. Mm-hmm. She's a housewife. You know what she does? Take care of her children. And she does paintings at home. She got a little studio at home. And she has his back. See, that's when I tell this my objective is. Okay. When a woman knows what type of life she wants to be married with children and all that. When she go pursue the man because it's a pursuit, you pursue the man that can offer that for you. Now, if he's in engineering, the way to help him is find something to do that can help out an engineer. Not find something, I would like to do this and find something that'll help his vision. Get a degree in that'll help his vision.
But if she doesn't have interest in it, it's no point to go do it, because she's not going. She's gonna be miserable through the process of it.
No, you won't.
That's why you don't just go and pick anything to get a degree in. That's like me. If I would have went to nursing school because someone said, well, I mean, it's very feminine to be a nurse.
No,
I would have went to nurse. I would have been fucking miserable because I don't have a passion in me to go be in the healthcare field. I don't.
No, that ain't what I'm saying. What man that you pursue that's in the medical field?
I didn't go pursue no one in the medical field.
Exactly. So guess what?
What are you talking about?
What he said,
why you gotta get with people who match what
he was just saying is around what he likes. What he said
she doesn't desire engineering, then
how? No, yeah, right. No, just hear it out.
Right.
What he's saying is, it's not like, okay, so you didn't pursue anybody in the medical field because it's not an interest for you. And then some people think about it like, yeah, surgeon makes money, but he's on call. OBGYN makes good money, but he's on call. They can call you at 2:00 in the morning, that baby's on the way. He got to get up and drop everything he's doing. You have certain people that like or you're interested in. And what he is saying is, you know how like when you really into somebody, you kind of try to get into what they're into or try to take an interest in it, is what he is saying. So the way that you could potentially help further the vision.
Everybody should go take up business, because business is what runs the world anyway.
Because guess what?
Because anything can be a business as long as it's profitable. It's just like doing this, having a business mindset, and that's why I pursue business, because I actually have a passion for it, right?
No.
And so, but my thing is, I'm saying, even though, because like, even if I would have met a doctor, I'm not going to judge him because I'm not in the healthcare field and he wants to be. That's your passion. I'm not going to tear you down for your desires, because I don't want you to live a life of having one day wake up with resentment because you wanted to match what I did, but it wasn't exactly what you wanted, only on the career perspective.
Right.
You're only going to get 80% of what.
I'm not saying 100%. I'm saying
now,
as far as the desires of a human being.
Now watch this. The 80% is the family, the marriage, the family,
that part. That's
the lifestyle, and all that. The 20% is, oh man, I really don't like the certain stuff, but I'm just doing it because he doing it. That's the 20%. That's it.
And think about too, like,
you might like the movies. I might not like it.
But I'm here.
I'm gonna take you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take you. I'm gonna enjoy it with you, and I'm not gonna resent taking you. And I'm not gonna resent enjoying it, even though I don't like the movie. But guess what? That's an interest of yours, and I want to do an interest of yours.
That's what I'm saying, as on a woman's perspective, if she wants to be a psychologist and he's an engineer.
Guess what? How can her being a psychologist help I don't know. All right, I'm gonna say this. I own trucks, right? I'm in the trucking industry. I make real good. What can your psych degree do to help me?
One, see, when you're thinking of a psychology, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of a psychologist?
I see you just.
No, I'm asking you
don't do a question with a question.
Your question, so I need to know what is your thoughts on it. Do you look at a psychologist as a doctor? Do you look at a psychologist as a?
I don't care what kind. I ask you, what would your psych degree do to help
me? That's why we have psychologists.
What would your psych degree do to help me in the trucking industry?
Medically, they have yet to have done it, right? There's only a certain percentage of the mind that the humans have been able to research and get understanding of, and that's why they're always spilling into psychology, because they have not got 100% of the brain capacity yet. They haven't, and that's facts. So
one more again.
Because when you think about it, it's not just going to be work all the time. There are other aspects of a relationship that need to have attention, right?
I ask you one more time.
I'm trying to answer, but if you keep
talking, guess what? What you just said ain't got nothing to do with putting the tie on the. Ain't got nothing to do with it.
It's not always about the male. That's what you got to understand.
That's my vision. That's my path. That's my purpose. We're not talking about yours. That's the whole thing.
Psychology, because most of them do
not understanding the assignment.
Go see one. If psychologists are not bad, first of all, again,
I'm not going to talk to my wife if I need to talk to a psychologist. I'm gonna go find one.
It's not about that. It's not about being able to talk to her about it. I'm just saying, because she will have a sense of
you just tapped that. I just asked you.
It's a psychologist.
What would that degree do to help the trucking industry?
Let me get the understanding correctly. What you're saying is this: what you do doesn't matter, but what I do matters. So focus on what I do.
Purpose,
and that's where I have to respectfully disagree. I'm sorry, I don't agree with that.
See, that's a woman who wants to be
in what I want to do. Then respectfully, I can't have no interest in what you're trying to do.
That's a woman. Hey, listen, that's a woman that has her own assignment. That's a woman that That's a woman that has her own assignment. She focus on all that. She get 40 years old. And now she's looking for hey, listen, we're not talking about you. We're not. You're talking about a woman that's 40 years old and talking about she can't find a suitable man now. Because guess what? I wouldn't date her.
You don't have to though. That
A
woman
lot
is
of them not
for
dating her
you.
though. She's
Every
not
woman
getting
is
dated
not
by
going to be
nobody.
40. And that's the same thing with saying an older man needs to go date a 20-year-old. A
Hey, listen.
20-year-old is at
Look
the
at
highest level of
watch this.
vulnerability.
Look
They
at the
haven't
demographic.
experienced life.
Look at the
So it's easy
demographic
for
of
a
the
guy
women
to
that
come
don't like
pick up,
Kevin
come
Samuels.
down, get a 20-year-old and be manipulative to her mind and tell her this, and she hasn't even
Oh,
experienced life.
I don't think it's. I don't think
I'm
it's.
sorry, I'm
bullshit.
sorry.
I call
You don't.
bullshit.
I
I
don't think
call
yeah,
bullshit.
that's cap. I don't think.
I call bullshit.
A
I want
lot
to
of
ask you a
those
question.
men can be
I want to
manipulative.
ask you a
Let
question.
that girl live a little bit.
I want
Jay,
live.
don't get
What
it
do you
right.
mean about live? What do you mean about live? Let her go fuck a lot of men?
No,
So
I'm
she can get
saying,
experience?
oh my goodness, why is everything with black people
I'm
go
asking her
all
because
the time?
watch this.
There is
What
more
can
things you can
another
do in
man
life than go
watch this?
fuck somebody.
What can another
Seriously,
man what
that's
can
something
she
you
learn from
haven't lived.
another man to help her with me?
What?
What can she learn from another man to help her with me?
So
What
listen.
experience
Okay.
can she
Okay. Let me interject.
What
Let me interject.
experience can she
Both of
get
y'all. Hold on.
from somebody else to date me?
Let me interject because you know you're not hearing each other now. So what bro is saying? Well, first let me say what IKEA is saying. IKEA is saying allow this 20-year-old to get experience in life. Bro is asking, what do you mean by the experience? Because what can I teach?
Of
Just hold on.
thyself. Get to know
Right,
yourself.
I hear you. Right, but this is what I'm saying.
You don't know.
Either way it go, as long as you're still breathing and living and you make it. So say this 20-year-old is now 40. A lot of women and men, by the time you're 35, 40 years old, you're pretty much set in your ways, right? And so if in the process of you living your life, you get bitter, you get angry, as opposed to at 20, you might have that 40-year-old, whether you are a male or a female, man or a woman, no matter what the age gaps are. I know a couple where the guy is 20 years younger than the woman. She got all her stuff together. He came in and he helped elevate her shit. Like, oh, I know people in this area, the trucking industry, for example, that's what it is. She went from having 4 trucks to 8 trucks, helped double her shit. He got connects with certain people. He putting her at the table and then on the phone with other people that's making the money done triple.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. Let me stop you there. How old is the guy? Like, what is his age range?
He should be 27 next month, and she'll be 47 before the end of the year.
So the 47-year-old is dating the 27-year-old man, or
yes, yeah. The man is the younger one, and the woman's the older. But people don't look at that the same way when the woman is the older one.
Yeah,
and so because is she manipulating him? Because what I'm saying. Because is she manipulating him? Because people don't say that. Because just like with that whole August Alsina thing.
I'm saying there is a sector of older men who go date the younger because they know they have the highest level of vulnerability. Because at 18 and 19 years old, I'm sorry, you do not know yourself yet. You are just getting to the age of being a legal adult to where you can start making decisions on your own. So you have to go figure out who you are before you just go say, well, I'm just going to leap from my parents' house straight into a marriage without figuring out, okay, what do I want to do with my life? What kind of person am I? And that's why I say the younger generation, y'all need to go travel. You need to go see some things.
But
discover who
you can't do that with the older person.
Come and try, do the dating thing.
But can't you do that?
You don't have to have sex.
Listen, okay, but this is what we're saying. We're being real. This is the world we live in.
Exactly, and that's what I was telling you.
Right.
But a lot of, listen,
you in the middle.
Stop
when
talking.
I said women
stop
do not
interjecting yourself. Because I'm only telling you what I hear from other women and all that. See, I'm not saying your thoughts. I'm telling you what I hear from other women when they say that. When they say that, when they talk about experience, I'm not talking about you. That's when I asked the question, Ikea. But the thing about it is finding yourself.
A lot of
Exactly.
women trying to find themselves is
Everybody
finding
needs to do
penis.
that. They need to know who they
Huh?
are
A lot of
first.
women trying to find themselves is after finding penis. Is what usually what that term
That's what
is.
I mean.
But
That's not
right,
finding
I
yourself.
know,
That's
but
not
that's
what
what we're
I'm
saying.
saying. What I'm
But
saying.
that's what we're
That's why I
saying.
said we have to still
There's
be
a
The
teaching
majority
because
of
it's
what
a man. This is the
you're
result.
a
And we
minority
have
when
to
it comes
stop.
to the way you think. Is what we're saying. With the way you think, we keep hitting on it. You
I
be
get it, but I'm saying that's why I'm coming from another perspective. And that's why I say when you stop wanting to even give off something, you don't have to care about someone to tell them something right. We
yeah,
understand that part. And
yeah.
that's why I said when we stop teaching, those are your results. And somewhere down the line in the past, they stopped teaching because
Yeah,
that is why today you are seeing the result of what happens.
of course. So
Both male and female have dropped the ball. And that is why I said it's equal accountability. It's not one sided because both have stopped.
right,
And
but
so
I
this
now
now
you
this
let
what
them out here
now this
doing
really the
something
problem.
different.
It used to take when they say it used to take a village to raise kids. They used to be that way. But guess what? It stopped when the parents of the kids got mad at the village. That's when it stopped
you stayed out,
because
you
it
stayed the hell out the
always
business.
been single. It's always been single mothers. It's been a small few always. But guess what? They was inside of the village where guess what? They children got corrected along with the others. That stopped. You know why? Because it got to the point the mothers started getting mad of what the village was doing.
Mhm.
They didn't like
Let's
being
not forget
corrected by
that too.
they didn't like
Correcting
being corrected by
discipline
the
was
village
also
when
removed
they were
because
coming
they
up.
put laws in place
They
that you
hold
no
on.
longer do it
They
anymore.
didn't like getting corrected by the village when they were coming up because when they got away from their parents, they thought they was going out to do something slick. But the village saw it, the village corrected them. They didn't like that. So
And
when
it's not
they
even.
start having children, they start getting mad at the village for doing the same correction.
But it's not even that, like Ikea, you were saying about the laws. It's not even about like you can't do corporal punishment. You know, you can't whoop them and all that
Right.
stuff.
Because I
I
don't
think what it
agree with
is the
that.
point is
Like,
like even if you see my kids doing something and you check it, and I'm like, well, what the fuck? You don't talk to my fucking kids. These is my fucking kids. You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh, I ain't gonna say shit else. You see what I'm saying? As opposed to because I always tell people somebody's always telling us what to do. That was one of my biggest pet peeves when dating chicks is like, oh, well, I don't like people telling me what to do. I'm like, the moment you stop at a stop sign, the moment that you cap it off your speed, the moment that light turns green, the moment that light's red, yellow, someone's always telling us what to do, right? The moment that fuel light comes on. You know what I'm saying? The moment that your stomach is growling, the moment you get a little purse, something or someone is always telling us what to do. So we have to come into that place of getting out of that I don't like authority thing. That's another thing too that a lot of men are. We're not trying to argue with you. A lot of men cheat because they find peace there. And and real talk, when you invest it and all that stuff, yeah, you should just leave. You should just leave. Yeah, it's a lot to get a divorce. Speaking from experience, it's a lot. You know, everybody know breakups are rough, but divorces is just like they feel detrimental a lot of to be real. Because some breakups do, right? But what I'm saying is a lot of times when people cheat, they're trying to find something that they, like I've heard women say they cheated because it always goes back to because we were having a discussion. Some women was like, "Oh, it was this dude. A couple of my girls said he had some good dick. Blah 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 blah." So I went fuck.
He's breaking up. Y'all breaking up.
that's your internet because we can hear each other just
Yeah.
fine.
So
Uh,
so
I don't
then
know. I'm on
the
all
fellas,
bars.
the fellas,
Hello.
when a guy cheat, it's usually trying to find the peace. It's usually trying to find the support. And so that's why we got to be careful not to allow ourselves to, in these relationships, we got to kind of be a cohesive team. That's why we need to communicate. That's why we have to be there, because if we in a relationship and I'm not encouraging you and I'm not your number one fan and cheerleader and vice versa, and then I'm out, you out, and this dude is like, man, I can't. You doing it big. You got your editing is crazy. Your shirts is like, hey, he's gassing you up, and it's like, damn, my dude don't even do that. So now your mind is over here just a little bit like interested. and you don't even realize it subconsciously. And the same for a man. If what I'm doing, you can't support it or none of that, and it's just like, here come Keisha. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, yo, Brian, you looking good, you handsome. Like, damn. Girl, I ain't say nothing about that before I left the house. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. You know what I mean? Or, just that support.
You just can't let it go to your head, because we all know what gaslighting is now.
Of course, right. But you get what I'm saying? Like, but that's where we, and I say men and women, this is where we as the unit, we fail, because we don't do the little things. Your hair looks nice today. Your makeup looks good. You did a good job, babe. You know what I'm saying? We lose that. And so when we lose that, and then the next person is complimenting that, and it's a small ask, it doesn't cost us anything. It doesn't cost any time. It doesn't take any time. And so now in the mind, it's like, damn, they care enough to take the moment to tell me I look nice or I'm doing a good job. And that's where those doors open up. But I'm going to close on my end and say, rest peacefully. Kevin Samuels, he did leave his mark. I saw his vision. I saw what he was trying to do. His presentation may have not always been the best presentation, but he never minced words. And I respect when you don't mince words and you are 100%, gut punch me. Don't kiss me with a lie. Slap me with the truth. You see what I'm saying? Because I'd much rather know the truth and know the real, so I can work towards what I need to work towards, rather than you lie to me. Because that's where a lot of our relationships fail anyway. We don't, oh, I'm okay. You all right? What's wrong? Nothing. I'm good. And then finally, it's, instead of one thing, it's 100 things. And now you're blowing up and everything looks crazy. We can't work this out because I'm tired of your shit. And I just want a divorce. I want to break up. And now we got kids. It's all this shit that's fucked up now because we didn't communicate and keep it real. Kevin Samuels was hated because he kept it real. Kevin Samuels was hated because he expressed the opinion of most men. Most men that I, asked, because when I first discovered it was just like little clips on TikTok, those little sound bites. And then I remember sharing some of them and showing people like, man, this dude is fucking saying what we say at the barbershop. Wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? This dude is saying what I'm fucking feeling. Wait a minute. Who is this guy? And then I started following them on TikTok, and then, I follow them on YouTube. And I think it's immature on every level to make fun of someone's death. I feel like Kevin Samuels.
Agree. I think that was, it just shows you where some people are spiritual. You're not inclined, and you need to go get your spirit right. Because again, like I said, he wasn't my cup of tea, and he didn't speak for me at the end of the day, because I don't go up and call in on no YouTube or no Instagram ass show to ask, what do you think my rate is? I would never ask a man to validate me.
But
and I think that was some of those women's problem is, one, your self-esteem was missing, and you need to go find out who you are. Because if you got to go ask a stranger to tell you what you are, then that means you got some work to do.
But listen though, think about this. Like I said, I've studied real estate, and I was just having a conversation yesterday with one of my friends that's a realtor, and we were talking about a client that she's having issues with getting her house sold. And I always tell them, because when I studied, my ACE part was landlord, tenant, and pricing. I'm like, you have to have that real ass conversation with your clients, because you may want $1 million for your house. The market says this house is worth $350,000. Listen, when you go to trade that car in, and they like, what you want for it? 10 bands for my car. Well, we look at Kelly Blue Book, they say it's worth $2,000. We give you $2,200. It ain't about what you want. It ain't about what you envision or what you feel like the value is. It's what the purchaser, what the buyer wants.
But and so when you buyer of the woman, though,
see,
that the same
but that's what I'm saying. No, listen, hear me out. Hear me out.
Is the consumer of the woman.
But just the same difference.
The man is the consumer of the woman,
but
though.
Kevin was not dating none of those women. Is what
but they were asking him what they need to do to get the type of man to buy them.
That's
they were asking him.
But no, hear me out.
Sorry, I disagree. No,
this
If
is
you
like
want,
this.
hey, listen,
on someone's show, ask me
hold
to
on.
validate
No,
me.
but no,
Watch
it's not
this.
that.
Well, let
Listen.
me ask you a question. If it's 10 of us and we're all just say make $500,000 a year,
Mhm.
who are you? And you know me, and you so having to talk to me, and you want to date one of those guys, are you gonna ask me what will it take to date one of those guys? Are you gonna ask somebody else?
But
Are
see,
you gonna go in there with
but see,
are you gonna go in there with your head cut off after you have tried before on your own, but you have no clue?
Again, that's not these. Okay.
That's
see,
they
listen,
were
hear me out,
what
though.
they were asking him. Though.
Yeah, they were asking how to
Exactly
get to
what
the
I
table.
said. You need to figure. That's why I said self-discovery is the first step to getting to know who you are, to
And that's
understand your value as a person, what you can contribute to the world. You have to know yourself. You cannot skip knowing yourself first.
I can't contribute to the world if I can't contribute to myself.
The world and get just like, hello.
No,
I
ain't gonna
identify with that.
I get what both of y'all are saying, because what bro is saying is you coming to people who are at the table. You like, how I get a seat at this table. IKEA, what you're saying is, damn it, I know who I am. I know what I'm worth. But what I'm saying
I'm
is,
not going to allow someone else to give me their opinion.
But guess what?
No, listen
You
though.
can hold
Go back to your house.
You can hold your word. Nobody said don't do that. But if nobody is buying it, that means
that's what you're saying. Again, you are not every man in the world.
I'm not every man, but I'm saying.
Okay.
White men,
Listen.
fucking Mexicans.
Right, but listen.
Man does not stop the show.
But just hear me out.
A group of them do.
Hear me out though. Hear me out though.
A group of them do.
Hear me out though. So back to your house.
On me.
Back to your house. Say you want to change your bathroom, right? Okay, y'all down south. Different game. I'm up here in the Midwest. You put a house, if you put a pool in the back of a yard at an Ohio home, yeah, people are like, damn, they got an in-ground pool. That shit's dope, right? In Ohio, it adds $0. You can spend $1 million on a pool and it adds $0 to the value of your home. Why? Because we have winter. It's a high-ass maintenance bill to keep a pool, right? Down south, you add $1 million pool to the house, you might have just added $1 million value to the house. And that's what we're saying. You can add stuff, you can add value, you can add degrees, you can add money and all of that stuff. But the prospective buyer, not calling you a piece of property, in the same difference for y'all. Because if you don't respect my value, if you don't respect what I bring to the table, or that I am the table, if you don't respect what I am and who I am and what I can do, you're never going to see it. You're never going to appreciate it, right? So you're not going to give a shit what I am, who I am, what I do. And I've experienced that, just like I've been on the opposite end of it. Like, well, shit, I don't really give a fuck about that. You know what I'm saying? So what we're saying is, yes, women called into his show because he was considered a top earner. He was considered a well-dressed, well-groomed, well-respected man, an image consultant. So they're calling in to ask him, okay, so what is the fella saying? Basically, they were getting an insight into the barber chair talk. They were getting an insight into what we're talking about during game night. They're getting an insight of what we're talking about when we just hanging out for wings and brews. So that's what he was giving. Maybe his presentation wasn't the best for some people. I'm a straight shooter. Tell me the fuck what you mean, so I ain't got to be trying to, guess around what the fuck you're saying. Yeah, his sound bites were taken out of context, because even like earlier in this episode, where I said the whole 35-year-old woman thing, bro, like, hey, it was more than that sound bite. All I heard was a sound bite. I didn't see the whole show. And then it come to find out, it was talking about a whole nother culture. But what I'm saying is, again, we all have value. When you know your self-worth and your value, yes, that's fucking great. Because now, again, at your house, you get an appraiser come out, and your appraiser's like, this is a $500,000 home. This is what this is worth. It's worth that, but what's the market talking about? Because now, yeah, your house may be worth $500,000. There's a lot of homes that was worth a lot, and they sold for less. There was a lot of homes that was worth less and sold for more.
They sold to the wrong buyer. That's what happens. Sometimes you gotta wait.
But sometimes
you have to wait to sell, because the market ain't always up.
Well, in real estate, when you wait, yeah, you can wait to sell. But if you're on the market, the longer you're on the market, the less.
Take it down, and then wait and put it back up.
So you got your shit together, and that's what Kevin Samuels was saying.
And
Henceforth,
that's what I was saying
henceforth,
about those women that called
yeah,
in. Half of them didn't. And that's why I say he doesn't speak for me or
right.
to me.
No,
And I
no,
would
right.
never waste my time
But this
getting up
again,
on the internet to go ask some stranger that doesn't know me from a hole in the
but we
wall
giving you your
about what
flowers.
I am, if I'm average at best, or what the hell
But
he's
see,
trying
that's
to
the
raise
thing.
me.
We're
Because
giving you your flowers because
yeah.
you, again,
And
we
that's
told
why
you.
I said those women, the only thing I could give them was go and figure out who you are, what you can contribute to the world. And when you have that figured out, then go out there and go and
But
take the time and properly vet and date. Don't just go run to the first thing that's willing to fucking take you, because
but
you
you know
might
what?
end up with a
Let's be
monster.
honest. Most people and most women, I'm gonna say, only
Then
value themselves based off of the physical, the
and that's,
appearance, how
yeah,
many
and
body counts, how
that's
many
what I
niggas want to
mean.
fuck. That's just what it is. Like the last chick I had dated, like I'm thinking, we making progress, and I knew about her past or whatever, but then it's like she get into it with a chick. That bitch don't know I can take her man. I'm like, what the fuck are you saying that to me? Like I'm your nigga. What the fuck you mean? What are you talking about? And then I'm like, why? What did I just put her aside? Like, why does everything when it come to you revert back to something sexual? When you talk about, I know my head game is great. I can ride your dick. Da, 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 da. Like you go to
The
that.
advertising, bro.
But
That's
and
advertising.
I'm your man at the time, so like, I already know what the fuck you can do. But it's like, what else can you
Advertising.
do? What else can you do
That's
though?
what I
What
mean.
else?
Yeah. Being
Like,
hypersexual is the downfall in the Black community, because we are over sexualized. We need to operate in celibacy and refrain from that, because too much of that is bad for your body anyway. One. And then two, you
I'm not
can't
saying.
focus. Yes. Over
No.
ejaculation is not good for your health.
Don't.
Don't
Hey,
listen
listen.
to them
I'm
folks
gonna need.
tell you that
Listen. No.
they
I'm
don't
gonna need
want
you
it.
to show me the
I
doctor.
can't. Don't worry. I'll send
Send
it
it
to you
to
after
me
this. I'm gonna
because
send it to you after this,
I
because I'm not
because
gonna go down that
they
rabbit
because the
hole.
doctors are telling me that the
Who
less
are
I
the
do, my
doctors and what do they look
testosterone
like?
goes down. And guess what? I need my testosterone to stay up.
Right,
Well,
and that's what I'm
pretty
saying.
much.
We
That
I'm
what
gonna
gives
say it
me
like this.
strength
Hey, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold
and
on.
energy
I'm gonna
to
send
go
it
out
to
to
you. I'm
perform
not
my
gonna go
task
on that
every
level right
day.
here. That's going a little too deep into
but we
sexual
do
things.
we
So
do
I
have
will
to.
send you that information so you can go and fact check it. Okay,
Yeah,
so do your
because
research,
I can tell
because
you a lot of
doctors are told things to do. They're programmed.
We
They're
get
like
it.
the news people. They're told what to do, not what is right. Doctors are still telling you don't eat fruit because it's got sugar. It's natural sugar. Natural sugar will not kill you. Sugar
no.
will. So
But
again, let's move on from that. What I'm saying is that is being hypersexualized. We have to calm that down. Be celibate for a little
well,
bit. But
okay.
these
What
men
you
are
said?
not willing to do that. So if a woman says no to sex, like, look, I don't want to have sex for the first 6 months. Let's talk. I want to actually get to know you outside of a sexual thing. Men want to run away from that. Look,
That's not
No,
take the
necessarily
time
no,
to
true.
do
no, no.
something
I
different.
will agree with that. I would tell her that is cool. That means the way you want it, this how I want to do it, and this how you want to do it. That means every day we go on, we go on Dutch. That means because I value my time and my money just like you value your body. So I'm gonna go Dutch with you. We're gonna go. Our dates gonna be walks in the park. We're gonna get to know each other. Coffee dates, all that. Don't ask me to get your nails done. Don't ask me to
Oh Lord,
do
we're going
nothing
into
for
sex.
you.
Because you're not having sex, then you got a problem, sir.
That's right.
You have
Because
a
I
problem.
listen.
You have a
When I
problem. You
spend
got a
listen,
problem.
when I
There's a
spend my
problem in our
money, hey listen,
community.
when I spend my money and time is where I want to plant my flag.
But guess what? A woman,
Hey,
Because
you're
guess
basically
what?
saying, what you're saying is you want to buy a woman's body.
No.
mhm.
Well, guess what she's saying is she want me to buy her time
No,
and
see,
wait on her.
you
Because if I
don't
have to
do
do
that.
all
If
that,
a woman wants to get, what is wrong with a woman wanting to get to know the person she's dating
nothing.
without the
I
physical
agree.
sense of sex? We're not
I
talking about you
agree.
spending
Listen,
your
I
money.
agree with. But guess
I'm
what? I'm
saying no
giving.
sex. Let's keep away from that. Let's get to
Okay.
know each other on a mental and emotional level. Fuck the
What?
physical, because that
I
can you
got
get
you.
that anywhere.
I got you. Guess
Has
what?
nothing to do with you and your
Watch this.
wallet.
You want to be a board of sex. I want to be a board of cash in that process.
you might as well get you a prostitute. You would do a lot better. And you can
Hold
afford
on,
it.
hold
Get a
on. You might as
prostitute.
well get you a
You know
donkey.
what? You know what? You
Get a prostitute.
hey, this is what I'm saying.
You have to be willing
Why
to
I
do
can't?
the
Hey, listen.
work. A
You
woman's
see what I'm
body
saying,
is
bro?
a
If I
is
give
not
her
a
something,
man's
why I can't have
playground.
something?
Listen,
What?
this is the thing. This is the
No,
thing.
I'm saying
That,
if I
that,
tell,
I'm not. Listen,
if
I
I
honestly don't even know if
agree,
I want to post
if I
that part. I
agree,
might cut this out because I'm
no,
sorry.
if I agree or
I'm
not
not
to,
sending that
if I
message
agree
to
to
these
your
women. Sorry.
non-sexual contact, if I
Get a
agree to it,
prostitute.
fine.
You will
Let's
do
do
better.
it.
No,
You ain't
Let's
got
do
listen.
it like that.
So we do got to do a wrap because I know how your
Yeah,
thing
we're
be.
getting ready to wrap
So
it
what I
up.
was going to say was for us to do as a final thought. Let's do a final thought on Kevin Samuel leaving his mark and our opinion on it. And so, IKEA, you wanna go first? We've been kind of,
Oh
what's your
no!
final thoughts?
Hold on. You asking me what now? Say
So
that
what's your
again.
final? We all gonna do a wrap. We're gonna do a final thought on Kevin Samuels leaving his mark, his impact, and what is your from a woman? I know you said he don't speak to you, he wasn't speaking for you, but what do you feel like the man did any type of positivity with
I
what
will
he
say
was doing?
this. Some of the things he said, I will agree with. Now, the delivery and the way it went, which I told you last night, I said you have to be careful of how you display your message, right? Because again, you could be it could be the right message, wrong messenger. And the reason they say that is because how are you telling someone that, right? Like
Mhm.
customer service call, you start yelling at them, guess what they're gonna do? Please hold. They ain't gonna get no damn manager. They gonna make you hold until you shut up, and then they'll come back. So that's what I'll say on that. And I'll note this too because those pages that I saw, I find it to be ridiculous. You men, I get that was one man. He wasn't y'all's daddy. Okay, he has his own children that are here. And let them mourn him correctly, but you are not mourning a person when you're creating extremist page that are making plans to physically harm black women because of it. That's ignorant. You don't have to agree with the women who celebrated his death. They're wrong too. They need to go find somebody, the Most High, to fix them. And the same with those men creating those pages. But as I always tell people, be mindful of what you do and don't think you can go control the world with the way you want. People are going to be how they want to be, and you just have to control self and don't let it bother you because we're not going back to before Christ. Those days are over. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. So you have to adapt to live to the best of what you can and not what others want you to be. It just doesn't work like that. But
Okay.
unfortunately,
Well,
rest in peace to Kevin Samuels and my condolences to his family.
appreciate that. Sadequan, bro, what's your rap?
Viva la Mexico!
Hey, you know what he's gonna be doing? Ron, he's finna go to Oklahoma. They say the funeral gonna be in Oklahoma.
I'm not going to. Hey, listen.
He
I
go,
told
hey,
you I
he gonna
saw
be
my
like
daddy
this.
earlier.
Because they say he died on top of that woman having sex.
He went out
Hey,
like
listen.
He gonna be like this. Me
That's the way I want to go too.
Or this
Hey,
nigga gonna be down there like some Moxie down there.
hey, listen.
It's gonna be so many men, so many
All I have,
what they call that group that was on YouTube. The red pill community will be there.
hey, listen. All I have to say is that what I have learned by what we say at the barbershop, what we say on the court, that when it's said out loud, no matter who's saying it, black women would not like it. Because Monique tried to come about the Bunny situation, all humble, all peaceful,
I
all
agree
nice,
with
with
I
a
didn't
lovely
take
tone,
it.
and the black women and those simp men attacked Monique. So with that being said, is I hate the man died. That's part of life. You're born to die. Those who rejoice in his death, y'all still single, y'all still miserable, even after he's gone. And with that being said, is I'm in Mayday enjoying my nieces and nephews, the next generation of Browns that's coming up, that's being taught, and the wealth is being passed on to IKEA because my mom understood the assignment.
Okay.
And
Congratulations.
y'all and everybody else have a blessed day.
I appreciate that, man. And finally, yeah, once again, I hate that Kevin Samuels died, and I hated to see the celebratory moments with that. I hate to see the extremist moments as well. I feel like for me, Kevin Samuels, it was more of a confirmation of what we hear and say in the barbershop, on the court, again at game night, or sitting across, at the bar. Um, it also confirmed that what I am doing is the right thing. You know what I'm saying? My approach is the right approach. And the way I'm viewing stuff, like, I don't want to deal with this shit. I'm tired of that shit, this old shit. It confirmed that. It validated a few things for me as well. And so, I appreciate everything that he presented to our community. He was trying to present it to both male and female men and women, but it was misconstrued. There are women out there, there were women on TikTok and women on the internet and in the world that appreciated him as well. So we give prayer and condolences to his family. And hopefully we get better one day. Hopefully his full vision, I'm not going to call him Martin Luther King or nothing, but I'm saying he had a vision and he had a dream.
And so, with that being said, I'd like to thank our guest today for coming on and just, speaking their opinion, giving their opinion of Kevin Samuels. Again, we don't have to celebrate anyone's demise whatsoever. So, with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. And if you have any questions or you would like for something for us to talk about, please send me an email at thelindsaypodcast@gmail.com. And until next time, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day.